What is up, guys? It is the Bluebloods here, back with another 2022 NFL draft prospect breakdown, and we're headed to Fargo, man. We got to get to Christian Watson, wide receiver out of North Dakota State, who I think is one of the more overlooked FCS prospects that has probably one of the highest ceilings in the draft this year. And I've been really high on this guy, and I think after the NFL Combine, a lot of other sites and analysts are also very high on Christian Watson going into the 2022 NFL Draft. Some even saying that he could slide into the late first round, maybe second round, if things fall correctly for him. But to kind of get into what he's accomplished at North Dakota State, this guy's a four-time FCS national champion. No surprise coming out of Fargo. He was a 2021 FCS first team All American for the wide receiver position and an all purpose guy since he plays special teams. He's a three-time first team All MVFC selection, wide receiver, and all purpose. A 2020 FCS first team All American for all purpose and kick returner, a two-time second team All MVFC selection, wide receiver and return specialist, and Christian Watson ranks fourth in North Dakota State history in yards per catch with 20.4 yards per catch for a career. And he also ranks fourth in North Dakota State history in yards per return with 26.4. So when you're looking at what Christian Watson is going to bring to a franchise, you're looking at someone not only that can play on the outside at the wide receiver spot, but you're also looking at a guy who can be a very interesting special teams piece if put in the right situation. And on top of that, the way he was used at North Dakota State in many different aspects, from being the outside receiver to being in the slot to coming out of the backfield to being used on jet sweeps, his versatility and him being almost just their like utility guy at times really is going to add another level to his breakdown here, because I think a lot of NFL teams really like the ability to put him in different places in the offense and utilize his immense speed, athleticism, and talent that he is going to bring out of Fargo coming into the draft. And when you look at his combine performance, measured in at 6'4", 208. That's about what he was listed for North Dakota State anyway. He goes out there, runs a 4.3, a 4.36 official, which ranks top 7 among wide receivers in the 40-yard dash. So at 6'4", runs a 4.36, has a vertical of 38.5, which was 6th among all wide receivers. And then he goes out to the broad jump with an 11.4 and it leads the entire combine. That was number 1 out of all positions at the NFL Combine. So Christian Watson put on an absolute dominant performance at the NFL Combine. And looking at his clips, we'll pull them up here. So this is his 40-yard dash, man, and you're just going to be able to tell immediately how fast this guy really is at 6'4". And he puts on a show of, unofficially it was a 4.28, and everyone was just shocked. And then here's his broad jump here, and you can just look at the athleticism and the balance and the explosiveness that he has coming out of North Dakota State. Just amazing performance put on it in Indianapolis. He was smooth with his catches. He showed a great job catching the ball with his hands and everything like that. Well, down at the Senior Bowl, you're actually going to see me in one of the clips in the background. He was the most impressive wide receiver on the field at the Senior Bowl as well. And right here, you're just going to see his route running ability and his ability to cut when in one-on-one coverage. He leaves the DB just dazed and confused in the open field right here. And this is against the best of the best corners as well. And you're going to see him take that inside, bang, right there. The DB had no idea where to go. And Christian Watson's off, and he's going to beat him to that corner. And then right here, the explosiveness that he shows in this route right here is really what it really impresses me. And you're just going to see him take off from that DB. I mean, and then here I am up in the stands right there watching this all happen, and it blew me away. But you're just going to see him. He's just going to cut, and the DB can't get there. The way Christian Watson is able to flip his hips and get going is one of the more impressive qualities that he has. And just some of these highlights I have here are going to highlight some of the strengths that I'm going to cover on what I like about Christian Watson the most. You're going to see him right here make an outstanding catch. The body control is immaculate, gets the foot down, and that's a big touchdown right there for North Dakota State. And he does that all the time. And here he comes on the jet sweep, and the ball carrier vision is just amazing. He cuts up and then no one's catching him. I mean, you just saw his 40, and once he hit the gap, it was over. And then right here he comes again. And what do you think is going to happen? This run was one of his signature runs. Look, he cuts up. There's two defenders here. You got some blockers up here. This guy is doing his job. He's getting pancaked. But Christian Watson's just going to make all the right moves. Cuts outside to help out his blocker. Hurdles the tackle. Cuts back inside. Gives 21 a chance to put a pop on the kid, and it's a touchdown. Christian Watson in the open field is so dangerous. And right here, you're going to see the route running ability of Christian Watson. You just got pointed out on the top of your screen. He's going to get the DB's hips pointed out toward the sidelines. And as soon as that happens, he uses that leverage, pops right back inside, and it's off to the races. He's going to outrun you. Here, he's at the bottom of your screen. He's going to run a little comeback, and he's going to get hit right there and make a great move. And he's going to get it inside the 1 yard line, almost a touchdown. And this is just another play. Trey Lance, of course, being the quarterback, just going to roll out and put it on him. You're going to see the strength here. That DB thinks he has an easy tackle, and Christian Watson makes him look silly in the open field. And then right here, another great display of his speed and athleticism. Hits the hole, and that the defender right here, right about at the sticks, has a great angle, and he outruns them. And then they're going to see him hurdle a guy who was standing straight up. That's the type of athleticism you're going to get from Christian Watson. Then right here at the top of your screen, he's just going to make a great contested catch right here. An underthrow, but it doesn't matter. Christian Watson's just going to be more physical at the ball. And then right here is a blocking. This is something that I think NFL teams are going to love. You're going to see them come into your screen and block about where number 2 is at the bottom of your screen. You're going to see him come in right there, right in front of number 2. He's going to get the block. And when things bounce out, you're going to see him outrun everybody. He's going to cut off right there, the closest defender. And then he's just going to put his body on the line to get to the end zone. And listen, that effort and that ability to get downfield and block is really something that I think NFL scouts are going to love about Christian Watson, is the fact that he is willing to get out there and do the dirty work. Because you see a lot of different teams, especially like the Ravens, when you're trying to run the football, those wide receivers have to get the blocks on the outside. And so Christian Watson being able to do that and having plays like that on his film is going to be amazing. But looking at the strengths of Christian Watson, for me, doing some film study, watching him throughout my time covering FCS football, the number one thing is the unique combination of speed and size. Let's just get that out of the way. We've kind of already talked about that. But at 6'4", almost 210, he should not be as fast and explosive as he is. So that's the number one strength for me. 2, we saw it on the film, body control. When he goes up for a ball, he has a great ability to know where he is in space and how to contort and move his body to make the catch and make a play. I love his body control at that size. It makes him very dangerous on one-on-one coverage and in those jump ball situations. 3, physicality. You saw it in the blocking video. You see it when he's running, when he does the stiff arm, when he's just physical when going up to get the ball too. So I love his physicality. And with his size, you like to see that, because if the size is there and the physicality is not, it really limits a wide receiver's potential, in my opinion. Also, separation. You saw how he used that utilized the outside leverage to gain inside leverage on that 1 DB in the highlights. And his speed gives him that unique separation. His route running ability and speed allow him to have that separation. 2, or second to last, vision after catch. And this really goes back to his ability to play special teams. When he has the ball in his hands and there's a bunch of stuff happening in front of him, he's able to diagnose the situation and know exactly where to cut, exactly where to run, and how to set up his blockers for the best chance of success. You saw him where he could have cut inside on one of his runs. He cuts outside to give the blocker an ability to reach on that DB, and he turns it into a touchdown. So Christian Watson knows how to play in open space, and so his vision and explosiveness after the catch are very big. And then finally, versatility. I kind of mentioned this earlier where you can utilize them out of the backfield. They had a great play against Montana State in the FCS championship where they just rolled Christian Watson out of the backfield and the linebacker just lost him. The linebacker got sucked in by the tight end coming up down on the inside, and Christian Watson was wide open. His ability to play in the backfield and to allow him to play there to get him some open looks in space is it really opens up the offensive playbook for a good offensive coordinator. Then he can play in the slot. Then he's most comfortable on the outside, of course, but then also you have the special teams aspect of Christian Watson. So his versatility for an NFL team is going to be is going to be utilized and also a huge plus to his scouting profile. Now, weaknesses, there's not many. And, I mentioned the last episode, this isn't really, I'm not trying to be overly harsh with critiques, but every player, even Evan Neal and some of the very, very top prospects in the class have things they need to work on. For Christian Watson, all these things are fixable, in my opinion. It's just sometimes you kind of have to nitpick the film to find things wrong with these really good players. And the first thing I saw is sometimes his catch focus seems to lack where he has a great chance to get the ball. It's in one-on-one contested catch separate or contested catch situations. His catch focus seems to lack at times, and he's had a few drops because of that. And so, if he can get his catch focus at an all-time high more consistently, Christian Watson is going to be a matchup nightmare. So, I would like to see his catch focus improve a little bit when he gets to the NFL. Also, this really isn't his fault, but he's so tall and long that sometimes he needs extra steps when his route breaks to get all his body weight going in the right direction at times, especially on like those comeback routes and things like that. At the top of his routes, those extra steps can add up when you have a very, very good DB, which he's going to be facing at the NFL level. And then the last thing is just route consistency. I showed you how crisp and clean he can run his routes. And this year in 2021, I thought was Christian Watson's best route running year. But when you watch the film from the spring and from 2019 and throughout his career, his route running sometimes it just seems like he just slacks off every once in a while on his route running and they become rounded out and it's really going to allow good DBs to be on top of him. But if he can get it to where every single play he's running those crisp, clean routes, Christian Watson is going to be damn near impossible to stop at the next level, and he can be dangerous. But those are just three things that are fixable that I think the scouts and I was reading some other scouting reports, and there was a lot of reports up that kind of agreed with that assessment. But those three things are fixable. But those are the three things that Christian Watson needs to work on at the next level. But man, that kid has so many positives for me. Looking at his NFL draft projections, I personally might be higher on him than most. I think Christian Watson should be a late first, second round pick. I think second round, if I had to put my money on it, is where Christian Watson is going to go in the 2022 NFL draft. But I think he's highly underrated in terms of wide receiver prospects. I saw some scouting reports had him as like a fourth round grade. I don't think Christian Watson should leave the second round undrafted. And if he does, he should be the first 10 picks of the third round. That's how good Christian Watson is. I think his ceiling, really and truly, he could be the best wide receiver in this draft class. And I really do mean that. And I'm a huge Jamison Williams fan. And I really do like Chris Olave and Traylon Burks is a solid wide receiver. But Christian Watson, in terms of size, speed, and also he didn't get the chance to play in an offense like those guys did. North Dakota State did not throw the ball very much. They're a run first team. So I think Christian Watson, as he gets into the NFL, could be one of those guys where if you weren't an FCS guy like myself or some of you guys watching this show, you're not going to know where he came from. But Christian Watson's ceiling is as high as any wide receiver in this draft class. But listen, comment below your draft projections for Christian Watson. What teams would you like to see him go to? What round do you think he is? And also give me some feedback on these episodes. What do you want to see more of? What do you want to see less of, man? This is also, I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the best content out here on YouTube. But guys, we'll be back tomorrow. We're breaking down Trevor Penning, Northern Iowa offensive lineman. I'm very excited to drop that one. But until next time, guys, the Blue Bloods are out.